The Tang Dynasty in China between the 7th and 9th centuries is one of the most important and opulent periods of Chinese history, very much inspired by the wealth that was coming to China through the Silk Road trade. Sotheby's this November is very pleased and proud to have been entrusted with a very important collection of works from the collection of Susan Chen. The works are of Sancai ceramic, coloured earthenware that is highly regarded within China. And Susan Chen has very carefully selected these pieces over the long period of her career as a dealer and collector. The collection forms part of the wider collection that she put together with her husband, Anthony Hardy, the Zheyun Tang collection. I was first introduced to Susan Chen in the early 1990s on some of my earlier trips to Hong Kong by Julian Thompson, who was the very celebrated chairman of Sotheby's in Asia at that time. She was a well-known figure throughout the field, known at auctions. We see her at every exhibition, and she was also well known to many of the collectors in the field in Hong Kong. So I visited her a number of times at her gallery in Hong Kong. And there she was unfailingly charming and very, very sweet to me, a young boy in the field. She would usually just bring out one or two pieces and show it to you and explain to you that this was her private collection. So you knew that she had put this specially aside because it was that bit better and that bit more beautiful. On one of those visits, I do well remember her showing me pieces of Tang Sancai and particularly talking about the blue pigment. Only a relatively small number of pieces are actually found with that pigment on them, indicating how special it is. The piece in front of me is an extraordinarily lively model of a bull. Clearly, the artist is trying to create something that is three-dimensional and alive, and this very upright and alert position is something that comes through very, very well. But not only has the artist created a beautiful sculpture, he has then applied not just a little bit, but a lot of the rarest and most expensive pigment that there is, the blue pigment made from a cobalt oxide. And the result is an extraordinarily rich and opulent piece. The blue pigment is extremely rare and as such would really only have been reserved for members of the imperial family. This very beautiful dish is an example again of where a piece has been made in somewhat imitation of a silver piece, but taken in a completely different direction by the use of this very rich pigment. Another piece that is extraordinary is this figure of Aloha, perhaps best described as compared to a saint in Christian terms, but obviously for the Buddhist faith. And this Lohan has been modelled as an individual, but again applied with this rich pigment that means it could only have been for the highest officials. To have one piece with so much blue pigment is extraordinary in itself, but this collection is also very strong in very finely made but rather small and delicate wares. One of the groups that it's particularly strong in is pillows made of ceramic. The reason that you might use a pillow in real life with ceramic is because it is cool in the hot temperature of particularly the desert summers. This lion pillow is special because the pillow itself is not just a rigid pillow, but underneath we see this very lively lion capturing and eating its prey. Susan was a lovely person, full of vitality and extremely generous to those whom she knew, and particularly the next generation, as a collector and as a dealer. She's someone that we will all remember and is dearly missed by us.